Germany is an amazing place to study with world-class universities, a fantastic student culture and promising career opportunities. But there's actually no but. Today I'm going to talk about my experience with studying at a German university and everything that comes with it. If you don't know the country that well, Germany can be confusing. Everyone seems to be drinking 5 liters of beer at once and eating sausages all the time. And after spending 12 years of my life in Germany, I can confidently say that this is true. So the most important thing to clarify is that studying in Germany is basically free. You don't need to pay 200k in student loans for high quality education. And this might be the number one reason why so many people are attracted to this country and decide to stay in Germany for their higher education. As a student whose second name is broke, this is a true blessing. Usually you gotta pay a small semester fee of about 100 bucks, but let's be honest, this is not a big deal, especially for the quality of education you get for this price. For some people it might be crazy to hear that you can study for a bachelor's and master's degree by paying almost nothing. But this is actually the reality. And for PhD, you get guaranteed financial aid. I would say the cost of living overall is quite affordable. You know, the bigger cities like Hamburg, Munich, Berlin or Frankfurt tend to be a bit more on the pricey side of the spectrum, but you can definitely have a high quality life and live comfortably, and this is the big thing, even as a student. I myself live in Munich, which is the most expensive city in Germany, but me and everyone I know are doing pretty well here. When you go out of your house, you see that everything is in order, the infrastructure is well developed, and compared to many other European countries, the cost of living is considered reasonable. Different from countries like Japan, where people usually spend quite a lot of money on activities in the city. In Germany, the focus is more on the free ones. We really enjoy just hanging out in the park with our friends, visiting museums or chilling at each other's houses and drinking a bunch of beer. All simple things that don't really cause additional costs, unless you pay to have friends. When you are a student, you receive this nice university card, and with this, you basically get a discount on almost everything. Your student status is quite powerful, the entrance to museums is free or very cheap, public transport is more affordable, and certain goods and services are offered at a reduced price, like food or electronics, which takes away a lot of the burdens of being a broke student. And to be a bit less broke, students having part-time jobs is really common here. Most people I know have some kind of side hustle, ranging from working in retail to crypto trading. If you want to have a part-time job, you're legally allowed to work 20 hours per week in addition to your studies. And I myself have a part-time job and also do some freelancing work on the side. It's no problem at all. But let's do some simple calculations here, because I think it will be interesting for you to hear what amount of money you can expect to make on the side as a student. So the minimum wage is 12 euros per hour. So even if you somehow get the worst job ever, you'll still be making over 900 euros per month, which will be more than enough for you to meet your living expenses. And the legal system is pretty solid here. You will get paid, and most of the degree programs give you enough space and time outside of the university to earn some side income. You can absolutely have a good lifestyle and be financially independent. And yes, you can also get a job without knowing any German. I don't want to say that it's the easiest thing to do, but I have seen examples of people finding one with absolutely zero knowledge of German. All you have to do is be willing to work for it. But learning basic German will really help you out, more on that later. From affordable accommodation options to reasonably priced public transportation, I would say Germany has nailed a pretty good balance that makes sure that the actual residents and also the visitors can enjoy the country without going flat broke. I made an entire video about the cost of living here, and for your convenience I put it as the first link down in the video description, so check it out after watching this video. The thing that I really felt here is the quality of education, which is literally world class and one of the best you can get in the European Union, again without the additional burden of educational loans. And Germany is home to some of the world's top ranked universities, and many of them being in the top 30 and 50. And wow, that's actually pretty good. So to drop you some specific names, here is a list of the top universities in this country and the world ranking. I grew up in both Germany and Japan, and I went through the entire German education system, and now I'm studying computer science and design, and I was able to experience this quality firsthand. I went to the Technical University of Munich, the TUM, and got to know the system and environment there, and I recently switched to the University of Applied Sciences in Munich. In Germany there are actually 2 types of universities. This might be really important for you to hear, because Depending on the type of person you are, depending on your preferences and career paths, you might want to consider one of these two types of universities. And this is something not many people have in mind, especially when they want to study in Germany as an international student. They immediately think TUM is the best way to go, but let me give you a different perspective here. So two types of universities. One is called Hochschule, or goes under the name University of Applied Sciences. At a Hochschule, they primarily focus on the practical application of knowledge and focus on professional-oriented programs such as engineering, business, social work, IT, and design. And the Hochschule has a strong connection to the industry and really puts some extra emphasis on internships and practical training to optimally prepare us for specific professions and the real world. So companies really like hiring from the Hochschule. For example, in my degree program we have a mandatory internship in the 6th semester, which is quite nice because they make sure that you get a lot of real-life experience and work on soft skills at the same time. We work on a lot of projects, presentations, and basically everything you need to thrive in the job market. On the other hand, universities, in Germany they are called Universität. They focus on theoretical knowledge, research, and academic studies. So if you're someone who likes to study a lot of knowledge, focus on research and all that theoretical stuff, the classic universities might be a better fit for you. TUM, LMU, and so on are examples of these kinds of universities. And Universität or Hochschule both have various benefits. I saw myself as more of a practical person who likes working on projects rather than just plainly studying a lot of knowledge. So the University of Applied Sciences was the best fit for me. And I don't regret the decision. The University of Applied Sciences in Munich, which I attend, ranks number 1 in Germany when it comes to entrepreneurship and startups. This is what particularly made it so attractive for me. But if you want to become a doctor or a lawyer, the classic university is better for you. When you want to study in Germany, the grading and exam system here can be quite confusing, depending on the education system you're used to. First of all, most classes don't have that many assignments, but base the grade for the entire course on the final exam or term paper. So in most degree programs, at the end of each semester, you have this final boss, this monster exam, or even multiple monster exams that you need to conquer. It's very stressful, and it means that the final exam period at the end of each semester is a very intense time for all of us. Libraries get hella crowded, caffeine consumption goes through the roof, and doing all-nighters becomes a temporary trend. My prayer goes out to all my homies who gotta write 7 exams in engineering. There are about 3 months of classes followed by a multi-week exam season, and we students here need a lot of self-discipline to keep up with our studies. It's so easy to just start skipping lectures because no one forces you to go. If you want to seriously study in Germany, there are certain skills you need to keep in mind and focus on acquiring to get through university without major problems. Here people put a lot of emphasis on time management and self-paced learning. Whether you have assignments or projects outside of the lectures, you're expected to get yourself together and do things on your own. As harsh as it sounds, many of the professors at the bigger universities don't really take any interest in your progress. Their job is to teach and leave it to students to study. It's on you to learn and approach your professors and tutors if you need to clarify any doubts. But when it comes to the question of how long people study in Germany, I gotta say, it depends. Taking time over your degree is actually the norm in Germany. Of course, you can finish it on time, which is quite a realistic thing to do, and I'm intending to do that as well. But here, people put a lot of emphasis on self-development and really giving each other the time and space to figure out what they want to do in life. I see many people taking a gap year, join a study abroad program for 1 year, or switch degree programs and stuff, which is quite unthinkable in a lot of other countries. I personally switched degree programs as well and plan on doing a study abroad soon. Both are very welcomed and accepted here, and people get really hyped up when you tell them. In my eyes, the more flexible approach is very attractive because in other countries where you pay a shit ton of tuition fees, you wanna finish on time, right? Unless you wanna get into serious debt or be seen as a failure.
I can smell the failure!
The career is also not gonna be an issue here. As a student, I used to do some research because I wanted to know which companies are present here so that I can prepare for my career and work towards a specific company. And there are many companies in Germany ranging from giants such as SAP, Daimler, Siemens, BMW, Porsche, and many startups, and international companies such as Google and Microsoft. Since I'm not a foreigner in Germany, I'm actually half German and half Japanese. Many of you might notice it from the accent. And I also went through the German education system by going to a German school in Japan. On one hand, I'm German and know my home country very well, but on the other hand, I also have the perspective from outside because I also lived outside of Germany for quite a long time. So I'm kind of an international person in Germany, but at the same time, a local. So my friends are a good mix of German people and also international people with many different nationalities and backgrounds, which makes everything very interesting. I would say if you come to Germany as an international student, you won't have that many problems, especially if you go to uni in the bigger cities. There will be a lot of international people around as well. You might be surprised. So right now I think there are like 400,000 international students in Germany. And I'm pretty sure that the number is growing because we have quite open borders, many countries around us, and a pretty mixed culture. And 7,500 different kinds of beer. Like what the f, bro? You can expect a pretty diverse group of students studying with you in university. But I would say the majority are German, Indian, Chinese and French. And it's always beneficial to be able to speak German. I'm making this video for more of an international audience, and if you're watching this, there is a high chance that you're an international person as well. And most of the people speak English here, and unless you live in a rural area where you see more cows than people, you are absolutely fine with English. The interesting thing is, especially for international students, you can study almost every subject in English. But learning the language is dope. I can highly recommend it to you. People will like you more. In comparison with other countries, Germany is a safe country. In town or in the countryside, by day or by night, you can move around freely here. The economy is very stable, no worries. Mercedes-Benz and Porsche are carrying the country. The crime rate is low, people just like to protest a lot. Not as much as the French, but definitely quite often. Oh, and I forgot. The only time where shit becomes crazy is when there is a major soccer game between rivaling teams. And the people there run on beer as fuel. But yeah, here in Germany, the university seems to be a big part of the culture. From what I noticed and experienced, the student culture in Germany combines academic stuff with a strong social and cultural life outside of uni. I think everything you want in your social life can be found in Germany. Especially in the bigger cities, you have everything you want. Sushi restaurant, no problem. Beautiful lake to chill at, absolutely possible. I mean, I can tell you that there are a lot of nightclubs and stuff, but at the end of the day, people here value work-life balance. It's like work hard, play hard. Hustle during your semester, chill and party like crazy during the holidays. And if you get bored of a country during the semester holidays, granted you don't have 7 exams spread over the entire holiday, you can visit the other 9 countries that have a direct border to Germany and also 26 other countries in Europe. Transport, especially by train or bus, is really affordable for students. I once took a trip to Prague with my friends and we paid about 30 euros for the train. And also going on a one-day trip to one of the beautiful lakes in Bavaria or a weekend of hiking in the Alps to wind down from all the university hustle is something I really love doing from time to time. So from my own personal experience and talking with other students, I figured out 3 challenges. They won't break the entire experience, but it's good to keep them in mind. So winter depression is a real thing here. The German winter is dark, wet and cold. People are severely deficient in sunlight and the overall mood is a solid 2 out of 10. You know, roughly from November to March, people are way more grumpy with its peak in January. You need to survive through this period. The German summer, on the other hand, is really nice with warm and dry weather. It's crazy how people's moods change when they see a bit more sun coming out in April. At 20 degrees with a little bit of sunshine, everybody instantly has like short pants on and is ready to do some barbecue outside. The primary language of instruction in German universities is German. And while many universities offer courses in English, especially at the postgraduate level, there might still be a language barrier for international students. And it can be challenging to fully integrate into the academic and social environment without the German language. And learning German in advance or during your studies will really give you the best experience and opportunities. And people always appreciate it if you talk to them in their native language. Bureaucracy and administrative procedures, in short, annoying paperwork. Germany has quite a shitty reputation for its bureaucratic processes and paperwork. And especially for international students, the administrative procedures might be overwhelming and time-consuming. For example, getting a student visa, health insurance. Also creating a company is not the easiest thing to do compared to other European countries. Here a lot of things are handled with paper instead of digital processes, and my big hope is that it's gonna change in the near future. But I'm really sure that this won't be a deal breaker. Germany is still a fantastic place to study. I can highly suggest you join our amazing Discord community where we help each other out with a lot of different topics. Love you and stay focused.